Hello, good afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. If you're in Japan, Tokyo, America, welcome to this. Yes, I know I'm not a teenager, but please listen. Well, yesterday was Sunday, the 5th of August 2012. First thing I did in the morning was I went to the newspaper shop, Co-op. And I think I've had the most absurd news story I've actually read this year so far. On the front page of our local paper was a story about some employees who were moaning because they can't watch the Olympic Games when they're at work. I just thought, well, excuse me, I'm a bit, not really clued up on work because I ain't really worked all my life. But isn't work this thing where you go and do something you don't actually want to do, but at the end of the month, the company you've done it for puts the money in your puts money in your account so you can live and eat and pay rent and all the rest of it. Anyway, they're lucky to have a job at all. I mean, I don't know. There was an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation where Lieutenant Picard went over to some planet and they found these. They had these like machines whereby you could tape programs that were on earlier in the day, and then you could watch them at a different time. But we can't have everything in life, and well, they haven't invented those sort of things yet. But they have invented flying cars, haven't they? I mean, come on. Let's be fair. Well, what else did I do yesterday? Apart from buy some stuff there. I had another message from my friend on YouTube, Stretchhole, I think she's called. I don't know what rubbish she was spouting this time, but I said that she should go to the Wrong Planet website, which is for Asperger's sufferers, people who suffer from Asperger's syndrome. I think I might have said the word wrong actually. But mainly it's people who don't feel they fit in. They feel that, nobody likes them and they just can't fit in. A bit like me really, but nobody's diagnosed me with anything and it don't look like they are going to do it. When I come up here, I try to get them to tell me what the problem is. I mean, I'm not getting on with anybody. Nobody wants to get on with me, and I think the most truthful response I got was from someone who said to me, "You're disabled. Normal people don't want to know disabled people. If you walk around with a bit of a limp or something, they just think you're thick." And from the responses I've got round here ever since I moved here, I think he was telling the truth, really. If going back to the other thing though, if there was something actually made out the reason why they were getting upset about not seeing the Olympics, they seem to think they had a case for not working when they're at work, but sitting around watching people running around a track. They did say something about they work in their off. They were watching it on their computers in their office, so that does sort of like doesn't justify it, but I can see why they're getting pissed off. I mean, if they worked in Asda, that's Walmart if you live in America. If they worked in Asda and they wanted to watch the Olympics for a few minutes whilst they were having their tea break, because there was a TV in the cafe down there, and someone else wanted to watch something else, and they moaned about it, they wouldn't be going up to any unions. They'd just be told to piss off, or they'd instantly get the sack. The rest of the day was basically sitting around playing on my computer, going on the internet and all the rest of it. In the evening, I went to Waterlooville to then meet Queen, and I think I can think of an Olympic something they're going to have to include in the next Olympics actually. What these people are going to have to do, right, is they're going to have to go through their entire life without any sex. No sex, not even sexual contact, not even touching a woman, right? Then they go into a room, and there's a woman in that room, and you can see most of her cleavage. All they've got to do is they're not got to look at her. And if they don't look at her for a certain amount of time, now they get a stopwatch out, but if they look at her within that certain amount of time, that's it, they've lost. And they don't get a gold medal. So I find it incredibly hard to bloody not look at women. And I know what happens if we do look at a woman. Two things either happen. And the cunt who had this rather attractive woman yesterday was a bit nerdy. So I don't think he'd have come up and smashed my face in. I think he'd have done the go and sit right next to me so I can look at her and then keep kissing her and really rub it in act. No Richard, because he's at a music festival this week. But I went up to the Heroes afterwards because it was quieter. Or less of those sort of people about. Then I went back to the Denmead Queen. And then I went home. And I don't know if I watched anything on TV because it's bugger all on at the moment. Only the Olympics. And I fell asleep. But I don't think I actually fell asleep and then just woke up in the middle of the night. And then went to sleep. I think I fell asleep in the bed. No, I just thought, sod it, I'll go to bed. And I went to bed. And that was it. Have a fun day over.